My name is Tonya McClendon, and this is my persuasive speech for Speech 250. Imagine yourself in a world where there are very few sunny days, the air is toxic to breathe, and on the bad days you have to wear a mask. The rainwater is unsafe to drink and is so toxic that the hardiest of plant life struggles to grow. Your children have to stay indoors all the time, and the temperatures outdoors are extreme and wacky. Sounds kind of like humans living on Mars, but it's not. It's what the US citizens felt a little of in the earlier parts of the 20th century. Acid rain, smog, increased breathing related illnesses, and allergies. The great industrial age. We thought we had come a long way, but we took shortcuts and we didn't think things through. And we created our own environmental crisis. In 1970, Nixon decided to thwart Democrats who were already talking about creating legislature for environmental regulations, and he created the EPA, a governmental agency which would spearhead environmental issues at the executive level. It was inevitable. Up until then, there had been very little environmental controls and regulations. There were a few laws, but they were weak and unenforced. And in 1969, off the coast of Santa Barbara, an oil rig spewed an estimated 3 million gallons of crude oil, killing birds, fish, and other sea creatures. The California citizens were in an outrage. But it started conservation talks, which added to the environmental protection discussion. Without environmental restrictions, where would we be right now? At the time, reversing some of the pollution seemed like a big deal, something that was going to take a lot of work. And we didn't know how we were going to accomplish it, but we still found a way to move forward, step by step, change by change, regulation by regulation, penalty by penalty. Can the EPA, is there room for improvement? Yeah, there's always room for improvement. But has it helped the American people? I'd have to say yes. But the work that the EPA was set out to do was not completed. President Ronald Reagan massively cut the EPA budget, and it has never recovered its funding levels, and its programs have suffered. Since then, we've had another oil spill, but this time in the Gulf of Mexico, spilling 3.19 million barrels of oil. We've had 2 coal ash spills in this state by the Duke Energy Company. And we put power back in the hands of the businesses. We have declawed the very agency set up to protect us and our environment, the EPA. I see the Green New Deal as the next progression to what was bravely started in 1970 with the EPA. It's not perfect. It doesn't have to be the final plan. It doesn't have to be all done at once. But it's someone standing up and saying, we need a change. We've got to fix this. Here's some suggestions. Let's start talking. But so far, I only hear complaints, what can't be done, jokes, and ridicule. Few have come to the table with actual answers to the problems that we all face. In the Green New Deal, there are suggestions to incrementally move towards renewable energies, such as hydroelectric, wind, biomass, solar, and geothermal. This can lower our carbon footprint and create new and innovative industries and jobs. There's a suggestion to update the U.S. electric grid to a smart grid, which helps to measure energy usage so energy production can be better planned, preventing blackouts and brownouts. There's a suggestion for energy efficiency in regards to retrofitting older buildings so that they are much more efficient. We all know it's where we should be headed. We all know that that's the direction we should be going in. But how do we get there, and how do we make our first steps? We need brave leaders to make hard choices and big changes incrementally and not cow to big businesses. We need brave citizens who are willing to support changes and learn new technologies and think forward. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. The environment and its health is all of our future. So the next time you hear someone make a pun about a cow fart or some such other criticism about the Green Deal, stop and think and ask yourself, does this person have a solution to the problem that we all face? Is this person adding to the discussion we all must have? And then think back to those smog and acid-filled rain days. Thank you.